is in Pinecone's hands, and he launches a hard forehand huck to Burke, who tracks it down, catches it with two hands. He is on the doorstep and throws it out to Stitch. Stitch brings it back to the goal line, marked by Aaron Buss, and he finds a perfect backhand out to Earls. And you know, Earls says, hey, I can launch one too right off the bat. Isn't there? And Pat is double teamed. He sends it out to Fedchko, and it looks like he's got Shepard breaking, but looks that one off and instead throws it up to Beardsley. And he's over on the far side of the field. Stitch coming in, and it's taken away from him right away. And then sent out to Mark. Campo throws it up to Aaron Buss by Pinecone, and that is a mismatch. And somebody saw that mismatch, and Eddie Peters runs away. Burke breaks off a cut, and there's a hammer floating into space. There's going to be a chance for a block. Working downfield against Dutch Kirkman, and he catches it on the in-cut. Looking, sends it up to Mast, who's got company, but he grabs it before he can be defended. And Steve Mogilski is thus the gangly Burke cutting into the corner. And we've got a little poach on the goal line from Aaron Buss, but it doesn't work out. I'm sorry, that was Nick Hazer. And instead, you have not been covered by Rob Dulabon. The disc goes up, and Dulabon catches it, but it may come back and draws two in, and Mast steps out and throws a big inside-out lefty, and it's going to fall. Jonathan Mast, Fedchko. Pull falls a little short, but Eddie Peters runs down, and he alters the course of that throw. If you deny a guy his first choice, his second choice is often not going to be as good. Mast shuffles it back, and he finds Van Duzen, who looks for Diesel, who goes up. Moyer gets it back from Campo, and now Hazer has a shot, but not without fouling Chan. In front of him, doesn't throw it, and instead snaps an inside out across the field to Fedchko. A diving bid. Max Shepard starts a hard cut to the force, and he turns Sparky inside out. Shepard's got that dangerous forehand, but instead sends it to Earls in the middle, and Earls throws up a lefty backhand. It's floating, and the Birdman is underneath it with Tariq Hughes. Birdman goes up, pulls it out of the air over Hubbard and Hughes. Pat, looking at what's in front of him, steps out, throws an inside out. The air by Marcus Daw. Oh my goodness. It's a high one. Settling in underneath it is Dylan. Gets it to Morgenstern, who throws it to Hazer, and then he just throws one out into space, and every single one was contested. The field, he finds the Hughes. Van Duzen puts the mark on him. Dulabon tries, and Earls picks it up with the Hughes marking him, and Earls whips a lefty backhand into. Slings one out to Fedorenko, and Fedchko gets that right knee down and throws a perfect huck. And we've got all sorts of cuts being circulated here, and then a break throw across the field to Pinecone, who finds Moyer. And, you know, he's got a little bit of a wall around him, but he sends one over the top to a wide open Max Shepard. Shepard has nothing to do but milk this one. Amateur, this is sort of like in the olden days of tennis and golf. Patrick Earls, and he, the gunslinger that he is, pulls out a perfect left-handed. Pinecone looking to make a handler reset cut, but there is nothing there for the Mechanix, and Eddie Peters simply snuffs one out. Picked up by Diesel, who was looking, and he sends it out to Eddie Peters. Receiver travels a 10-yard penalty. This one goes across the field, and field. Diesel making an in-cut. Mast snaps the inside out off to him. Diesel catches it approaching the sideline. And so hard to adjust to if you're used to the pro game. And Earls reaches under the underarm of his. Mogilski instead gets it, and the Thunderbirds are going to regroup downfield. They do indeed, as Mast airs it out to Thaw, who puts a little bit of a shoulder. Brandon Thomas gets an inbounds, but then pops one up, and he's got company underneath. And a big block from Patrick Earls. Defense Shepard catches it on the forehand sideline and throws a hammer to Beardsley, and it's perfect. Cone settles in on the mark, and it's a huck in the other direction. Shepard going up against Champeau. This is a matchup of young stars. Champeau gets underneath it, and Champeau to Fedorenko, who is on the doorstep, and he throws a sky hook. Inside shoulder on him, and lets one fly. Can Dulabon catch up to it? He's the only one who can, and Champeau sends the bisque back to Tang. Tang puts it out into space, and looks like there's probably contact on that mark. And the number 3 for the Thunderbirds, Patrick Earls, who cranks a backhand out to Mark Fedorenko. And this one looks like it's going to be a lot of hard work in that middle position. And a huge block by Diesel. Diesel flashes right in front of Burke. Disc goes up to Earls, who flicks another lefty out into space, and Diesel gets the bookends. Picking up the disc is Buss, and Buss throws a blade to Eddie Peters. Forehand to an in-cutting Thomas. Thomas sends it out into sorts of damage, both with his legs and with his arm. He finds Mast. Mast throws an easy backhand, loads up. Very hard to try to contain the Thunderbirds cutters. And a huge bit. And the disc still belongs to Van Dusen, who sends this one up high. And Sparky, Van Dusen has it, and he heard that instruction. Couldn't resist the opportunity to huck.